variety of Pinescript indicators. And in this video, let's look at simplest functions. For that, functions that plot just lines based on your series in Pinescript. So first, let's look at function just called plot. And if you will pass like your series to this function, it will plot it on your chart for every bar. It's quite simple functions. Here I have a bunch of different function calls with different parameters. So let's look at them and understand how it works. So if you will pass just plot, here you can see this line on top. It's plotted with only like this function call, and that's it. And you will just have it on your chart. It's easy. Also, if you want, you can specify your title, and you can display this title on the right. So here you can see I plotted TCI as my title, so I see what line it corresponds to, so it can be quite useful. Also, you can specify that you want actually to track your price, and this means that for the last value of your series, Pinescript will draw like a dashed line across entire chart, and it can be useful for you just to know the most recent values. Also, here you can specify that it shouldn't be editable, and this means that if you will open your parameters, you won't see here non-editable line, so you cannot change any styling for it. So next interesting parameter is show the display, and here you can specify that you just don't want to display this line, and it will completely disappear from your screen if you want to. Also, you can specify that you want to display this line only for the last X value. So here, for example, I displayed only for the last 10 bars, as you can see here. So it works quite well. And the last parameter this function has is offset. So you can specify an offset, and if you want to shift your line to the right with positive offset, but also you can shift your line to the left with a negative offset. So as you can see, it's quite easy and pretty powerful. Now let's look at a few more parameters of this function. So first parameter I want to look at is colors. So you can specify here any colors you want. So here, for example, specify like a few colors, built-in colors, but also you can specify like custom color in RGB format. So here you can see how it works for me. Also, you can change a line width for your lines as well. It's quite easy to do with line width parameter. You can specify like number from 1 to 4, and here you can see I have lines with different width, so you can choose one that works for you. Also, here I have like a parameter that you can specify like transparency for your line. Let's save it and see how it looks. So you can see it seems to work like both. I have here like two cases and two options, and as you can see, for the first one we have some like warning, like issues that Pinescript want to deprecate transparency argument, and you should not better use it, and instead of it you can use just color parameter and specify like a color with included transparency in it, and this way it will be more robust, because pretty soon Pinescript will completely deprecate using transparency parameter. Another parameter we have to look at is style parameter, and here you can do pretty interesting things. So let me save it to see all the styles available to you. So here you can see you have like just usual line, step line, crosses, you have circles, cross joins, and circle joins. As you can see, you have quite a lot of different selection of different styles of your lines. Also, let's look at a few special styles. So first one is style area. So basically Pinescript will like plot your line, and after that it will fill area between your line and the zero line. Also, what you can do if you don't want to fill it not with 0, you can set another parameter, his base, to 1, for example, as in my case, and then Pinescript will fill the space between your line and your selected base, basically. And also you can look at style histogram for your lines. It can be useful as well. And also, if this doesn't look good for you, you can try style columns, and this way you'll have really nice columns as histograms, and I think this way it looks a bit nicer. That's pretty much it about the plot function. Now let's look at another function called hline. And this function is pretty simple. It will just plot like horizontal lines for you, and also like parameters for these lines are also, for these functions, also quite similar to what you have in plots. And I just saved it, and as you can see, here are different like types of like historical or horizontal lines you can plot. And as you can see, you can change like your color, your line width. You can change like different style of your horizontal lines, and here you can see you have the different style variables. So it starts with hline dot, and after that you have three types: dot, solid, dotted, and dashed. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to work with lines this way. And now let's look at another function quite useful as well. It's called fill. So how it works: you plot two lines and you kind of save result of your function call to a variable, and after that you plot another line. So here I plotted two lines, and after that you can use a fill function to fill the distance, the space between these two lines with a certain color. So here, for example, I fill the the distance between these colors with a blue color, and with respect to 75, and as you can see, it looks pretty good and can be pretty useful for some indicators like blinker bands and so on. And also you can do pretty much the same thing for hline function. So you can plot two lines, and after that you can fill distance between these lines with some color. So let's save it and see how it looks. And as you can see, it works fine. So we have here two horizontal lines, and we fill the distance between them with also the blue color.